And again, the next day, John stood with two of his disciples, and looking at Jesus, he walked and he said, "Behold, the Lamb of God." He's the last acceptable Passover lamb. No more lambs are allowed to be killed after Titus destroyed the temple in 70 AD. So all the Jews around the world have no idea what they're going to do about Passover, because they can't have Jerusalem or the altar or the temple. And then the Christians don't know that they were supposed to do Passover, because God said from the beginning of Passover to the end of the age, do Passover. Jesus was killed on Passover. 3 days later he rose. So every year on April 3rd is Passover, and every year on April 6th is the day he rose. Restoration Day. It's never on a Sunday, maybe every once in a while. But Yahweh said to do it the same day every time throughout the ages. But we don't. We follow the moon instead. It's another story for another day. Then Jesus turned to them, and seeing them following, said to them, "What do you seek?" They said to him, "Rabbi," which is to say, when translated, teacher, "where are you staying?" He said unto them, "Come and see," and remained with him that day. Now it was about the 10th hour. Okay, so one of the two who heard John the Baptist speak, and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. So these guys were like hanging out with John, and they're waiting, and all of a sudden they see meet Jesus. So they started following Jesus. And he first found his own brother Simon, and said to him, "We have found the Messiah," which is translated the Christ, Yahweh's chosen salvation. And he brought him to Jesus. Now when Jesus looked at him, he said, "You are Simon, the son of Jonah. You shall be called Cephas," which is translated a stone. Like he's the rock he's going to build the church on. The following day, Jesus wanted to go to Galilee, and he found Philip and said to him, "Follow me." That was his whole pitch on making him a Christian. Follow me. So then, Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found him whom Moses in the law and also in the prophets wrote." So they're saying they found the Messiah. They found the Christ. And his name is YHVH of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. And Nathanael said to him, "Can anything good come out of Nazareth?" I don't know if they didn't know that Nazareth means branch. They didn't know that one verse in Isaiah where it says he's going to raise a stem of Jesse. Because Jesse was King David's grandpa. So from Jesse, then David, then all the way lines through, and then Jesus. And that goes all the way back to Adam. So it's all about DNA line of them. And the last DNA that was tracked was Jesus. Sons of Cain, sons of Adam. So all of Adam's kids, because if you look, Cain is not in his DNA line, and it's not in his bloodline, and it's not in his kid line. Abel is, but he died, so it's Seth. So it's Adam, Seth, Yahweh, Adam, Seth, Lucifer, Cain, next. So two different bloodlines. Sons of light, sons of dark. Now if you go down Adam's line, get to Abraham, then keep going, Isaac, Jacob. So the 12 tribes of Israel are from Jacob. So from Adam, all those people, till you get to Jacob. If you're one of those 12 sons, you're of Israel. If you're not of those 12 sons, you're a Gentile. You're outside of the... But everybody's invited. I think it's harder to be chosen because it's a way bigger responsibility. And then you're under the curse of our great, however many long time ago, curse of Deuteronomy 28, because they stood on the mountain and said, okay, everybody comes out of our loins is under these curses, or under these blessings. And they didn't tell us. So if you're not, you're just a Gentile, you have free will, you're not under those curses, everybody's allowed to come and pick Jesus or pick Lucifer or anything else. But this is the wise way to go. Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him and said, "Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no deceit," like he was just pure. Nathanael said to him, "How do you know me?" Jesus answered and said to him, "Before Philip called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you." Like he was paying attention to him and saw him before, and said to him, "Teacher, Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." And then Jesus said to him, "Because I said to you, I saw you under the fig tree, you believe? You will see a lot greater things than this." Last verse. And he said to him, "Most assuredly I say to you, hereafter you shall see heaven open and the angel of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man, if you can see angels. From that point forward, the angels are always helping him. Alright, chapter 1's over. Day 1 over. Happy birthday, Austin. It's just a statue, but it's a good symbol. Find the narrow gate. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and nothing was made without Him. And then the Word became flesh, and the Word dwelt among us. Those are some of the highlights of what we're about to talk about. Yeah, I've been dreading this day, but I'm ready. I'm ready to teach. 12 years of walking with Christ, about the same time as Paul. I know we're not supposed to have statues, but this is called the Peace Garden, and it's a perfect place to start. Michael's Mission, 8/11. Happy birthday to my son at 11/19 on 8/11/2012. Hold on. Now this testimony of John when the Jews sent the priests and the Levites, the sons of Aaron, from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" John confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Christ." John said, "I am not the anointed salvation of I am that I am." He's a forerunner to bear witness of YHVH. And then they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not Elijah." He knows he's John. He knows he's doing the job of Elijah, but he knows he's born John, his driver's license says John, everything in his life says John. And no one before that time had any comprehension, besides Hindu people, if the spirit of somebody else would go into somebody else. We're kind of given a little inference into it in the part where Elijah leaves his assistant, Elijah. It's Elija. Number 2 is Elisha. As Elijah number 1 goes up in the sky, Elijah number 2 says, "Hey, give me twice as much power." And as Elijah number 1 goes up in a whirlwind, which is like a UFO or something, a cloud that takes him away, he says, "If you can see him," Elijah number 2, "if you can see me, then you should get the power." So as he watched him go up in the sky, Elijah number 2 could see him, and then he took off his scarf mantle. Elijah number 1 threw it out of the sky, and then it flew down on the ground and landed next to Elijah number 2. That's called the mantle, the power of a prophet. So when Elijah number 2 picked up that mantle, picked up the scarf, he took it and then he went, and grabbed it and just broke a creek in half. So he got twice as much power as Elijah number 1. So John the Baptist would be Elijah number 3. The spirit of Elijah was taken away in a whirlwind, UFO, never died. And then up there comes in Elijah number 2 with twice as much spirit power. And then comes in John the Baptist, Elijah number 3. Jesus says he's not accepted because his head got chopped off, but if he would have been accepted, he would have been Elijah. So then Malachi chapter 4, verse 5 and 6 says, before Jesus comes back the second time, the last time, Elijah will come again. So the only way it can be real, and this can happen, is if he's accepted. By whether it happens to me or whether it happens to any of the 7,000 elect. The spirit of Elijah is going to come into somebody today if the 666 moment is tomorrow. I've been preparing for this most of my life, but I didn't know. And for the last 7 years I did know. And I was terrified of doing what I'm doing right now. Being judged for giving the word, being touched, not asking for money, not trying to make a church, don't want a big name. I just know this is what I'm supposed to do, because what they did for me changed my life, made me wake up, saved my life, made it worth living. He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, I am not the Christ. And they asked him, what then, are you Elijah? He said, I am not. Are you the prophet? And he answered, no. So then the guys are really confused. Like, who is this guy? Why is he doing this? Like, what, me? If I didn't know what a spirit of Elijah was, I wouldn't know what the heck happened to me. Why do I want to do this? Then they said to him, Who are you that we may give an answer to those who sent us, like the high priest people? What do you say about yourself? And now we get it, because he used the word to explain who he is. He said, I am the voice of the one crying in the wilderness, which comes from Isaiah. Make straight the way of YHVH. Like, make everything ready for him before he gets here. Light the fires, straighten the paths, knock stuff out of the way, get the people's minds ready. Hopefully you'll wake up some of them from the spirit of slumber. Help them get eyes that can see and ears that can hear. He said, I am the voice of the one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of YHVH, as the prophet Isaiah said. Now those who were sent were from the Pharisees. The Pharisees means outspoken. The outspoken ones of the people that followed the Torah, that were in the temple. And around this time, the temple priests were not being led by Levites or sons of Aaron or sons of Zadok. In about 160 BC, they were under the control of the Greeks, and Israel rose up under the power of the Maccabees and took back Israel. There was a father and 5 brothers, and the father and the 4 brothers restored Israel back to its full glory. That's where Hanukkah comes from, the 8 days were in the temple where the light didn't shine. And then the last brother, after they killed the other brothers, took over the priest line for the family and then appointed a priest. To us it seems like no big deal, right? We have discussions, should a woman be a priest, should this be a priest, should that be a priest? It doesn't really matter. Like I try to explain to everybody is, only matters what God says. Only matters what the book says. And for some reason he said no one can be a priest unless they're Moses' brother Aaron. So you have to be of the DNA line of Aaron. From the DNA line of Aaron down to Levi. So anybody under Levi now can be a priest. And then King David took a guy named Zadok. Z-A-D-O-K, which means righteousness. So from King Zadok, or from Zadok the priest down, everyone from that DNA line was the high priest. When the last Maccabee wussed out or got sold out or whatever, the first 5 Maccabees took Israel back from hell. Got rid of Antiochus Epiphanes and the abomination of desolation, and they were great. And then the last one got afraid, maybe like Bobby Kennedy, I don't really want to say it out loud, but like the last Kennedy, the Chappaquiddick Teddy. No matter how brave you are, if you watch your brothers and your family get killed for doing the right thing, maybe you just wuss out. I don't know. Well, that put a big curse on Israel, and then from the time that curse was put on, Rome came, King Herod came, they killed all the babies before Jesus was born, and Israel lost their power. I mean, it didn't last long. Once they took the priest line away, Rome came and took it away. So, and they asked him saying, why then, okay, so the Pharisees are the leaders of the people who are not necessarily of the 12 DNA tribe bloodlines. They might be of the scribes or of the sons of Cain that are mixed in with us. And the Pharisees might be super outspoken because anybody that acts like YHVH or a Messiah, they're going to put down, they're going to make sure he goes away because bad for business. And blasphemy is possible. There's lots of people that say they're Christ or the Messiah and they weren't. Maybe they're just being safe because the Torah says you can't worship a man or an image. You can't make a statue. So it's a fine line. So judge them, each person by their fruits. But now the Pharisees are asking, John, who are you? What are you doing this for? John answered them saying, I baptize with water. But there stands one among you whom you do not know. It is he who is coming after me, is preferred before me, whose sandal strap I am not worthy to loose.